This lesson is 1.3b2. Here we have an example. Limit x over x squared minus x as x approaches 0. So let's do the first method, which we always know is to plug the 0 in. So if we plug 0 in, so plug 0 in, I get 0. Plug 0 in, 0 squared. Plug 0 in, minus 0. So 0 is just 0. 0 squared is 0. 0 minus 0 is still 0. The answer came out to be undefined. You cannot do this because it won't work. Okay, so if you plug 0 in, you get this answer, which is not correct. So you cannot use this method anymore. Okay, so again, you cannot use this method anymore. You cannot just plug them in and then get the answer undefined. Okay, so this is the way to do this problem. Okay, so first thing we need to do is simplify this first. And the only way to simplify this is we have to apply factoring. Okay, one more time. We have to simplify this by applying factoring. Okay, so as you notice, here we have 2x and here I have 1x. So take out the x, or the correct way to say is factor one of your x out. Okay, now to make sure that it is correctly factored, just multiply it back. X times x is x squared. X times -1 is negative x. Okay, so again, make sure you factor the extra x out in the bottom. Okay, again, make sure you factor it out. Okay, because you have an extra x. Okay, next you cancel the outside x. So cancel the outside x. So here's the x right here that I am circling. Here is another x that I'm circling in the bottom. So these two can cancel out. Okay, these two can cancel out. So then you end up with 1 on top and then x minus 1 in the bottom. Okay, so again, make sure you factor out the extra x, cancel what you can cancel, and then whatever's left, then you can plug in the 0. Okay, so this was left after you factored. Now you can plug in the 0. Okay, so plug in 0. So put the 0 here. So 1 over 0 minus 1. Well, 0 minus 1 is -1. So 1 divided by -1 is -1. So the limit of this function as x approaches 0 is -1. One more time. The limit of this function as x approaches 0 is -1. This answer right here that I am circling is completely different from what I have up here. So be very, very careful. This is the correct way to do it. This is not the correct way to do it. So be very, very careful. And the reason is you have to factor things out. You have extra x's, so you want to get rid of those extra x's. Okay, and then whatever is left, you plug it in, it becomes your answer. Okay, so be very, very careful of this lesson. Okay, so again, what we did earlier up here was, that's when it was the first method. However, that method won't work all the time when you plug in. Okay, again, that method, this method right here will not work all the time. Okay, so make sure that you start applying the factoring. Factoring means start getting rid of the extra x's. Okay, all right, and then after that, then you can use the first method again by plug the 0 in. Okay, and then whatever the answer comes out using your algebra, okay, order of operations, and then that will become your answer. Again, what I have here, the answer here is completely different from up here. Okay, but the correct answer would be this one right here. This would be the correct answer. Okay, so be very careful of that. All right, so here's the lessons for, okay, so this is the example, and hopefully it will help you to do your homework for this lesson.